Zdravstvuyte! And welcome back to the next episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies, the podcast where myself and my friend here, Matt, go to the movies, we see a movie, and then we talk about how we feel about it right afterwards in the parking lot. I am Todd Domer.
And I'm Matt Malloy. And for this episode, we went and we saw the movie Midway. That's what it's called. So this movie is about a famous battle in World War II. It's a war film. It follows several characters throughout their kind of journey leading up to and through the Battle of Midway. So you've got some pilots, you've got an intelligence officer, you've got some admirals. And yeah, the movie basically walks through with each of those characters and kind of their experiences from sort of the start of World War II, at least the U.S. involvement in World War II. In Pearl Harbor, there's an extensive scene that sort of details what happened when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, surprise attack, and then from there through the war, not any more battles, but leading up to the Battle of Midway, which was a pretty big turning point in World War II, at least in the Pacific theater. So that is what the movie is about. How did you feel about it, Todd?
Well, I thought it was very average. I did not. I have a hard time because I don't want to bash a historical kind of. I think they went for very historical accuracy in this movie. Like, I think that was what they were really trying to do. But this movie was a bloated mess. There are so many things happening, and you are like, they're trying to tell like one linear story through the eyes of several different people. And at times it's like super jumpy between the people, and then at times you forget that person was in the movie, and then here they are again. And I just thought it was a mess. I feel bad a little bit about saying that, but we go for honesty here. So there are some other different things that I was not a fan of. It's got a really deep cast of good actors, but none of them are in super prominent roles. So the movie relies on some more main characters of lesser known actors who just don't do a good job at all, in my opinion. The main guy who you're following, something Best. I only remember his last name is
Dick Best.
Dick Best, who I'm sure he was a great guy in real life, but in this movie, the guy who plays him has just the worst American accent that I could really put my hands on in a movie. It made me smile a lot, and I had to hold back laughter at times. The guy who plays him is Ed Skrein, I think his name is. Skrein or something like that. He was the bad guy in Deadpool. He's been popping up here more. I think he is British or something, and the accent that he kind of went with is just distracting and not good.
Pretty heavy Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, they like
New York accent.
I'm sure the guy is actually from Brooklyn, but he went all in on that accent. and I think at some point someone should have said, let's pull it back a little bit. Like, maybe don't. But no, I did. And then he's got some friends in the movie, and he's got a best friend who's kind of also kind of a main character, and he's in it a lot, and nothing wrong with his accent. I just didn't think he was that good of an actor. Like, it just seems like for a movie that had such a star-studded cast of people, like Woody Harrelson's in it, Mandy Moore is in it, Luke Evans is in it, Dennis Quaid is in it. Like, there's just a lot of people in this movie, and it's like, it's really left upon these kind of two younger guys to carry the movie, and they just did not do that well with it. Visually, it's a very good-looking movie. A lot of kind of, as you would imagine, World War II action scenes, World War II planes, World War II ships, World War II weapons. So visually, like, I thought it looked really well. And I think they painted a picture of World War II battle was a good picture. I mean, I'm not a historian. I don't know much about that kind of stuff. If everything that they portrayed is accurate, then it all looked pretty good to me, in that aspect. The story is kind of rough at times. They're really trying to, like, they kind of, they start at one place, and then they have to get to Pearl Harbor, and then they have to get to Midway. So it's like all these they try to tie all these events in to kind of get to where they need to go. There are just cutscenes where they're out at sea, and then they're magically back at the base at Pearl Harbor. And it just is so kind of just fast like that I kind of was confused at times. I'm like, where are we? How did we get back here? Typically that stuff takes time when you go out to sea on an aircraft carrier. And, they would be out 1 second and then they would be back at the base. And I was like, it just seems weird. But they had an overall story they wanted to tell, so I think they were just trying to hit points. So anyway, this was recommended to me by a friend who thought it was really good. I am going to disagree with that. I don't think it was really good. I think it was pretty fine. I don't know the last time we've seen a good Roland Emmerich movie. I think he might be a little past his prime. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay. Well, I enjoyed the movie probably more than you did. I will say you brought up some good points about sort of it was a bit of a mixed bag of acting, of locations. There was a lot going on in the movie, and I do think that it struggled a little bit to keep its pace and keep you with your bearings if you didn't know the story. I came in with a lot of sort of background knowledge about World War II and about, in fact, this battle in particular. I didn't know the names of the soldiers or anything, but
you're already way ahead of me. So.
But I was familiar with the Battle of Midway. I was familiar with the sort of the intelligence role that brought the U.S. to a good place in that battle, and so I think that helped me to enjoy the movie a little bit more. I did think that the battle scenes were very good. I thought they were pretty gripping.
Yeah.
Kept you really on the edge of your seat as far as what's going to happen. Is this guy going to make it through the battle? Is he going to get blown out of the sky? Most of the battle scenes focused on planes versus ships, and typically the good guys were in the planes and the bad guys were in the ships from an American perspective, anyway.
Sure. Except at Pearl Harbor.
Except at Pearl Harbor. That's true. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I felt about it. I enjoyed the movie overall, but you're right, there was some unevenness to both the plot, the acting, and the movie as a whole.
Sure.
So,
yeah. So, how many Brooklyn accents are you going to give this movie? Up your nose with the rubber hose. Hey, how many Brooklyn accents are you going to give this of this movie?
Bad Brooklyn accents.
Bad Brooklyn accents,
yes.
Yeah. BBAs.
So I'm going to give it 3 bad Brooklyn accents because with its flaws, I did enjoy the movie. I thought it had more potential and didn't live up to the potential that would have really bumped it up. It was sort of the type of movie where you could see, hey, this is a big film with big ideas and so forth, and it just didn't deliver on that. I still enjoyed it though. So 3 bad Brooklyn accents. How about you, Todd?
I think I'll go 2.8. I don't think I'm too far off from you. I thought the film was very, besides the visual aspect, everything was very average, and then accents were below average. So if you take all of that into account, there's a large part of the movie that is action sequences, and they're very beautiful to watch, and they're, I did not know how aircraft worked in World War II, as far as like when you're trying to bomb a ship out of the sky. Like I'm not going to get into it because we're very spoiler free here.
Yes.
But there's just, I think of ships in the air just firing and whatever, but there's an aspect of warfare in here that I just didn't know. So it was interesting to learn about, and I thought they captured that pretty well. And so that's all really good. And so I think it just nudges it above just a even keel movie. So I'm going like 2.8 Brooklyn accents here.
Yes. Excellent. Well, that's it for this episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies. Hope you enjoyed it, and you can find us wherever you find podcasts. We'll see you next time.
Da 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 da.